Good afternoon, everybody. It is David Schlotthauer here in the Weather Center home weather office with a detailed tropical weather outlook and discussion for your Wednesday, July 31st, 2024. We're going to be beginning August tomorrow. And because I was really busy with other stuff this early afternoon, I decided that we'll go live instead to shorten out things a little bit and to actually bring you all a live stream at least. Some of you were probably asking me in the past, like, when is David live streaming again? Well, today is the day where you get to interact with me live here. So this look at let me actually switch to this. So this is a look at the latest GOES 16 True Color Visible Satellite imagery here, and everyone clicked onto this video wondering about this tropical wave that we've been talking about, and I am really sick and tired of the confusion with all of the models. And I will show you those and run those by with you all in today's update. You really need to be paying attention to this. I'm not doing that just to get more views, to get anyone watching here. We really do need to pay attention to this. This could go to the left or it can go to the right. In other words, this could, the door's on your left or the door's on your right. As in other words, if it goes to the left, it goes into the Gulf. If it goes to the right, it might not impact anyone at all. How does that sound if it doesn't impact anybody at all? Probably everyone's going to be like, yes, please don't impact us. We don't need any more impacts. But unfortunately, there is still a lot of room here that this could bring at least some impacts. It already is, in fact, over these islands, the U.S. British Virgin Islands. So looking at the satellite imagery, and let me slow this down. By the way, if you see a bright spot down here on this map, oops, and my Epic Pen is acting up here. Let's see. Okay, should be working now. So you can see a little bright spot down here. That's the sun. Someone was asking me that in yesterday's video. What's that bright spot moving across the map? That's actually the ocean reflecting the sun's light. So the sun hits the ocean, and then when there's no wind at all, there's no ripples in the water, you get that actually reflecting back to the satellite imagery. So that's what we see going across there as of course, this time of the year, the sun's really high up in the northern hemisphere versus in the wintertime. This is a tropical wave that we are really watching closely. Right now, there is no surface low. Okay, there's no semblance of an area of low pressure yet on this system. That's a good thing for right now. But the thing about this is we are starting to precondition the atmosphere. And what I mean by that is see all this percolating convection here? See how it kind of blows up, dies off, blows up and dies off, and then blows up again. And it's going to probably die off here in a second or in the next hour or so. Each time this happens, we are moistening up this pocket. There's not much dry air left behind as this moist pocket or these percolating popcorn-like convection moisten up the atmosphere, if you will. So this wave is going to get more moist as this moves further to the west-northwest, eventually where it could acquire better conditions, upper level winds, that sort of thing, that this could actually organize fairly quickly. Some of the models are very aggressive on this still, while others are like, it's not going to be a no-brainer. It's going to just be a few showers and that's about it. Of course, that's not the case on this model. All right, so let's take a look now. We're going to do the full screen because I'm using the College Dew page here and I don't have a special slide for that. So we can see right here, there might be a semblance of an area of low pressure trying to form here. Definitely a wave envelope buried in this over Puerto Rico. You can see again all these bursts of deep convection as we play this through. See how they're just blowing up right there? That's a bad sign because this wave is going to acquire dynamics later on. So think about that. This is a preconditioning of the atmosphere. Things are getting slowly together here, and eventually once this gets into, say, the Bahamas, perhaps into Florida, this wave could get a little bit more better organized. And we saw this in models yesterday. We saw this in the day before, that this wave is slowly going to become healthier than not. And that's what we seem to have today. Just again, disorganized showers. We're not seeing any convective banding features, no hurricane, no tropical storm, just some pop-up showers from time to time. In fact, there was a couple earlier over Puerto Rico. In fact, if we do have a Doppler radar, actually we don't have that. Too bad, so sad, we're not able to bring that up. But we are able to bring up the total precipitable water. If it even loads, it's actually not going to load on this for some reason. I don't know why. But you can see here, you get the idea. Lots of inclement weather here. Just not a day to go outside, go to the park, or do anything. Unless you love the rain, you like it warm, and you probably a lot of you are like, yes, we get some rain. Because it wasn't like that yesterday, just a few showers over Puerto Rico, and then really today, a little bit of a different deal with clouds and showers. So that's that. It's actually, I'm just going to keep it on there. How about that? So again, this is the wave that we're really watching right now. So now the question is, and everybody's gonna be tuning into this part of the live stream, is how will this develop? Everybody's been asking me that question, and I can simply say, I don't know. And it's not that I don't know how to forecast, and I'll be honest, I'm not a meteorologist. I'm a weather enthusiast that has been doing this for a long time, longer than 15 years, so I have that experience. But as any meteorologist will say, I don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen to this because you don't have a surface flow on this, or you don't have a consolidated system. How will the models be able to tell where it's going to develop and how is this going to develop, right? So that's the whole idea here. The models are not handling this very well, but if they do, there are some very aggressive, wild outcomes. Not on the Euro. We will be showing you first the Euro, and then we'll be looking at the GFS. So this is the surface wind plot on the Euro, the ECMWF, and people I've looked at posts on Twitter saying, oh, the European models are the more accurate one in this situation than the GFS. Really, we don't know. We just don't. We will know after it has developed. They'll look back and say, oh, the GFS had a good handle on this the whole time versus a Euro, which, by the way, there are some indications that the Euro is actually trending towards the GFS. Sorry if you guys, I don't know why it's going out. That seems to happen for some reason on YouTube, where I live stream in the first say 5 or 10 minutes, it goes out. So I do apologize if the stream goes out. That's not in my control. You can see my two hands. I am not touching the keyboard, and I'm not doing anything right now. So if you lose me, please refresh, and you'll be back on in no time. All right, so, and I can tell you I have excellent health stream right now. So it's probably a glitch on YouTube's end. Maybe I should contact them one of these days and figure out why is that happening. But you know what's happening? There's a glitch to some of the models too. And the glitch here is we don't know how this is going to develop. So now some of you are probably looking at the Euro and be like, whoa, that downtrended quite a bit over the last few runs. But there is still other evidence to say otherwise, that this could still develop. So here's a look at the Euro. Remember where our circulation here is. Yes, it's over here, folks. Not up over here like the model had it a few days ago. So what did we miss? Well, the model, the whole, the analysts have changed with this. This is what it looked like yesterday's run. Well, look at now. Look at this. Where is it? It's down here. That's what the GFS also indicates. So we have went from a system maybe impacting the Bahamas, well, could still impact the Bahamas, but not as direct as what we thought before. That's and you probably have seen my videos saying I'm hyping up stuff. Well, that's based on the models that we've had. When you have so much consistency with all of the members aiming at one thing, remember on the Euro, folks, how there was a lot of these tracks going up here like this. Oh gosh, it's going to ride the coast of Florida. It's going to impact the Carolinas. And now suddenly there is nothing. That is frustrating. That is really frustrating, and I can see why that is, because, based on now casting this, models are beginning to now cast and pick up different scenarios. So we can see here on the Euro, system actually is in the Gulf of Mexico. How is that? Yeah, in the Gulf of Mexico, we're not even looking at, the northern Bahamas. But wait a second, David. You said 2 days ago there might be a tropical storm up here. But guess what? That was 2 days ago. What about now? Well, it's in the Gulf of Mexico. And there's another model that is even very alarming and concerning that it really rings a bell. And so as we go forward in time, look what this system does. It just kind of stalls there. That's a very big problem. When storms stall like this over some very warm Gulf waters, wait until you see these water temperatures off the Big Bend and off Tampa Bay, Florida. Very, very, very warm. Probably the warmest I have seen it, at least in a couple of years for early August. Actually, last year we attained that, or we got close. So here's the system on the European model with those surface winds, and then look at it, just sits there. I just took you all, this is day 5 right here. This is day 6. This is day 6. This is day 7. Man, that hasn't moved very much. It's just kind of moving along. It's just drifting along. It's not doing much. And look at this. Even by the next day, it is still close to Florida. So I've took you through at least 3 or 4 days here where this is just drifting. Okay. That's a really, really big problem when you have a system that moves this slow. It's not in no hurry, and then it moves off. Then it becomes maybe a tropical storm, but hey, that's way too far out. I don't even know why I'm showing you 200 hours out at this point. But it's there, and we will have to see on how this all evolves over the next 4 or 5 days to determine on how that scenario ends up being. But guess what? Are you all ready to see the GFS model? Because the GFS model is really, really, really concerning. It really is. And it's not just one model now that is showing this. This is the 3rd model in a row showing a pretty significant system. So let's play through this. So let's go through the next 60 hours. This is what it looks like. Now keep in mind, this is what it looks like on the Euro. Okay, let's go. Let me make sure I have the same time frame. So this is the Euro with its wind forecast. And look at, this is the GFS. Wow, that's a notable sharp wave right there. We even have winds doing this. Then they curl around and they come out around like this. This is a very, very sharp wave envelope. Much sharper than the European model has it. In fact, the Euro has a really broad wave, not very sharp versus that GFS model. And the GFS model, by the way, has winds of over 30 miles an hour here. So this would be it's not consolidated here. This would be a really strong tropical wave. In other words, not a tropical depression, since there's no possessed or a surface low that is possessed inside the system. All right, and then going forward here, this is day 3. Keep in mind, there is the wave. Now this tries to consolidate a little bit more. This could be a tropical depression by Saturday, by this weekend on this model. And look at what happens. This is day 3.5. This is for early Sunday morning, August the 3rd and the 4th. We have winds here of about 30 to 40 miles an hour. But that's not it. Watch what happens when this goes northward. Watch this. It really gets its act together. Yeah. So we go from barely anything over the same area. This is the Euro, and this is the GFS model right here. So that's not alarming. It is a big concern. I don't want to use some serious words here, but it is. We don't take our eyes off of this, in other words, okay? Because, yeah, assuming if that wave is more sharper and the GFS gets it correct here, this could be a very different situation than what the Euro is showing. And then watch what happens. Gets really, really strong. And this is a surface wind. That's a hurricane on this model. 75 to 80 miles an hour. And it's not just a hurricane when it makes landfall. But guess what happens? If this, and this is a 5-day forecast, by the way. So 5 days from now, the GFS thinks it's going to be over Pensacola, Panama City, Florida, the Big Bend of Florida over here. This is a notorious area of storm surge, okay? And there's still a lot of variability in the model. It could maybe hit here. It could drift up the coast like this, or it can do this and then turn back west. And I'll show you that here on the ensembles. But look at how strong that is. That is a strong tropical storm, or if not a hurricane, moving its way onshore. But look at what happens. This moves onshore by Monday afternoon, and look at, literally 24 hours later, it is here. It is right here versus over here. That is not much of a move at all. That's very slow. That is crawling or at times even stationary. So this is a worst case scenario situation on the GFS model. Okay. And going forward, look at it, just sits here. It just does not move. That's a 7-day forecast. For 2 or 3 days, it just sits here. It just sits right on top of western Florida, that onshore flow bringing lots of rainfall and some high surf to the area. And look at this. Let's go forward. It's still here. This is Thursday, so we're looking at Monday when this makes landfall and Thursday. That's 4 days in the same area. That is not good. That's a big problem. That really is. Because wait until I show you the rainfall. And then that moves onshore. Now, that's one model. I wanted to show you another model. Let's look at the 06Z run. Okay, this would not be any better, but maybe a little less concerning because of where this would end up being, right? So this is the GFS. Actually, probably just as bad as the 18Z run. So again, same thing here. Going forward, moving onshore, winds here of about 80 miles an hour. So still continuing with a hurricane here, potentially. And look what happens. It just sits there and really, it does try to get stronger. 90, maybe 92 mile an hour winds. And look, it just sits there. This is a 06Z run. And then finally, it makes its way onshore. But look at something in mind here. It's a Monday time frame all the way potentially into Friday on this run. Yeah, Friday. That's 5 days. 5 days. That's a whole work week that this system is not moving very much. Now, looking at the 12Z run, a little different situation, but still the same thing. But now only this time it's stalling out over the Big Bend of Florida. Let's play that through. But again, this is a 12Z run of the GFS, and we can see right here, it sits there. Again, Monday, so something in common to keep in mind is this: the last 3 runs have a Monday landfall in this area potentially. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but there are trends to prove that. And as we go forward, this is Monday. This is it's day 1. Day 2, day 3, It might even be day 4 on that. So this is really, this is a lot. This is new. This is a new trend that could become a reality if this wave develops as what the GFS is showing. And that it just sits there. That's a rain producer over a wind producer. So that's what that shows. And now, of course, this is the latest run. So stalling, a system stalling over here is a no-go, is big trouble. So now, question is, how much rainfall with this system? Well, if we take a look at the ECMWF, the European Ensemble forecast, we again showing us how much rainfall could fall out of this. As we go forward, not much to be expected, and watch what happens when that disturbance moves on. Florida, okay, I'm only going to go out to 168 hours. You can see out to 7 days, potentially 3 to 6 inches of rainfall, potentially even 10 inches off the Tampa Bay coast of Florida. So, yeah, that would be a lot of rainfall, but not as much as what you're about to see on the GFS model. That's a very, very different story. The European actually being the more generous one, showing that amount of rainfall. But generous is, I mean, we're talking about 4 or 5 inches. My computer did something a little crazy there. So possibly as much as 4 to 6 inches of rain over Florida. Now let's take a look here at the GFS model. Now a lot of you are like, oh my goodness. Wait until you see this. Again, a system that stalls out. So this is day 5. Possibly already a foot of rain over the southern tip here of Florida. Actually, the southernmost tip here near Pensacola, Panama, not really Panama City. But look what happens. By day 7, this is 7 days, that's a 2-day forecast. In fact, if we look at a 48-hour forecast, that's 32 inches of rain in a 2-day period. Yeah, that purple, that grape, nasty looking purple, that is 32 inches of rain in a 2-day period. Man, if you talk about a rain machine, this might be one of those systems. I'm not going to compare it to Harvey. I don't want to go that far because it's too soon to say if this is even going to happen. But what I will say is if the GFS is correct, it's been like that the last 3 model runs. It's been showing a lot of rainfall in this area. And if you really want to be specific of how much rainfall you want to see over Florida, well, look at the model for yourself and go beyond 7 days. I'm not going to go beyond that for many reasons because, for one thing, 32 inches happening in a couple of days is very anomalous. It is catastrophic. Unsurvivable flooding from heavy rainfall is certainly not out of the question. Having storm surge flooding as well. This big bend of Florida, you get onshore winds like this that are screaming onshore. You're going to have storm surge of over 10 feet, even with a low-grade hurricane, Category 1 system. So combine that with storm surge, freshwater flooding. This isn't going to end very well. Unfortunately, it's going to be bad. It could be very, very bad if the GFS comes correct with that. But I really need to be careful on how I word things because I don't want to freak people out. But just so you know, that's on one of the scenarios now. We're now dealing with potentially a Gulf of Mexico system, not over here over the Bahamas. Okay, and yeah, it's Florida again. We've gotten too much rain in some areas of Florida. Well, here it is again. Now, to back that all up with evidence, here's a look at the European Ensemble probabilistic forecast with the chances of a tropical storm. there is a non-zero chance out here, a 20% chance equally with a 20% chance over here. So we're basically seeing a split decision here between some members going over here. Actually, this might be, because the way this looks, probably the system doing that. So again, chances are going up here. If we look at prior model runs, you can see those chances have gone up a little bit more there, and now really gone up here. Tropical depression type chances here anywhere between 50 to 60%. So now the question here remains, let me turn on my air conditioner. Let me know if it's a little too loud, if it's hard to hear me with the AC running, okay? Because I am sweating. The heat wave is coming back to California again for another 2-week stay, probably. So if it gets a little, if it's hard to hear, just let me know, and I will have to find a way to keep myself cool another way. It's muggy too. It's not pleasant here in the office. So as we do take a look here at the GFS model, so now the question remains is why could this stall out? And some of you are asking about that. Well, for one thing, we have this ridge of high pressure over the western half of the United States. This is bringing the monsoon back to California, possibly dry lightning concerns, hot temperatures, monsoonal-like conditions, blowing dust, haboobs, that kind of thing. Maybe getting something up here if the moisture kind of does this and it wraps around that high far enough. But that's our dominant feature. This trough is going to exit the region because we have a larger wave trough up here. And watch what happens. Watch the players on the field. This right here is our entity on the GFS. Actually, let me zoom in a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. Now watch what happens. This system drifts because our trough, which would otherwise pull this that way, is going to lift out. So this feature lifts out. This ridge is able to build further east. Even this ridge over here is able to kind of melt into that. So now, instead of this exiting like that, it has nowhere to go. So it's going to just sit here, wait for a break to happen in the ridge, and then this thing is going to escape, and you'll see that. Here, watch that ridge. Watch this pattern evolve. See this little ridge right in here. Little weak ridge right there. The main ridge is over here, but there's a weaker cell of that dome to the north of the system. And watch as that happens, system briefly moves to the west because of that mini dome of high pressure. And then once the weakness, once large-scale troughing happens to the north of the U.S., then this will likely be able to escape, because then our ridge is going to be able to build over the western Atlantic, and weakness ridge, there's a little bit of a ridge here, but it's going to be with this old westerly flow. So this is going to be able to make an escape route. As you can see here, system's going to be able to turn and follow that flow once it finds it. Now that's a tricky situation here. If we look at past runs, this is a very fragile situation. So you can see on this run, this height line, 594, goes out to here. The previous run has the ridge a little stronger. So you can see on this latest run, the ridge is a little weaker. And notice how that really makes a difference where this system is. If we go back to the previous run, the ridge is a little stronger, but the system comes a little later, which makes it slow down sooner and turns this way a little more. So that ridge up here will play a role in whatever traffic we have to the north of that with this overall pattern evolution. All right, so that's that. Right now with big time winds, that could be a big problem. Also, what's going to be a big concern is going to be the very warm sea surface temperatures. This is a look at the NOAA geopolar blend sea surface temperature analysis. I have another one that's even more high resolution than this one, and it's going to be from the University of Miami. Keep in mind, this wave is going to be transitioning over really warm waters, 31 Celsius, some locally higher contours up in here, possibly close to 32 Celsius. That is 90 plus Fahrenheit along the Big Bend of Florida, Tampa, Florida, Cape Coral, Florida, a little cooler, but wow, these waters up here really, really, really warm. Really, almost hot. How about that? Hot waters, not warm. And look at the Bay of Youth down here, Island of Youth, really warm as well. Simply, this is your 30-degree isotherm, all in here. This really has warmed up over the last 2 or 3 days, and it's going to continue to warm up even further because we don't have a lot of winds or any convection to mix this all up to stir it. So I would not be surprised if we get to 31 Celsius eventually kind of piling up all in here and getting the 32 Celsius even over here in the Big Bend of Florida in the next 4 or 5 days. All right, so can you guys hear me just fine? Let me know if you all could hear me just perfect. So sea surface temperatures with this system, not a problem whatsoever. Thermodynamically speaking, things look pretty favorable. Really, really favorable. What's up, Dawson? How are you doing? You guys could hear me just perfect. Okay, the air conditioner is not a problem then. Hallelujah on that. So here's a look at the sea surface temperatures from the University of Miami. And let me see if I can bring up a better, okay, so I can capture the whole thing. So looking at the sea surface temperatures as of, this is delayed by about a day. Of course, all these maps are delayed by 24 hours. It does take time for NOAA to process the data, including our friends over there at the University of Miami. But I want you to, again, higher resolution model here, or sea surface temperature. So this is 31 Celsius all throughout here. 31 Celsius here, and look at this. This is even close to 33 Celsius. This little patch right here, almost 33 Celsius. So these waters right where this wave is moving into, going to be a concern, because if the wave does develop a little more than what the GFS shows and we get uptrends, who knows how strong this could end up getting over the Gulf of Mexico with waters that are this warm. We really do need to watch this. We really do. Even so, it's a 60% chance. That is high enough as it is, but we cannot sleep on these things. A great example is this. Let's look at Hurricane Katrina. I don't like comparing storms, but look where this developed. Probably a similar wave that what we're seeing right now, right? So this is Katrina, tropical invest. Actually, a tropical depression here. It did not really intensify until it moved over the Gulf of Mexico. See, we're connecting the dots. That's why we're going to have to watch this. We really have to. And that formed, let's see when that formed. Yeah, that formed in mid-August. Not that we're in mid-August, but yeah, sea surface temperatures here are similar to those that are seen in mid-August, maybe even early September perhaps. So yeah, we're not going to take our focus off of this. Sea surface temperature departures, definitely above average, all in this yellow area. These orange colors, 2 degrees above average. With those sea surface temperatures, only slightly cooler than normal over the northwestern Gulf, western Gulf, And even over here, we're seeing substantially cool sea surface temperatures in this, right where the upwelling is taking place off the Yucatan. Well, again, where this wave is going, if it does this, it's going to be moving over this pile of really, really warm sea surface temperature anomalies. And I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, folks. I'm not here to bring you bad news just to get more attention on my channel. I've seen this stuff for myself. I know what I'm looking for, and we have to watch this. We really do. I mean, I'm going to show you the ensemble from the Euro of the different individual tracks here in a second, and you will see that, whoa, what happened to the Euro? See, probably a good testimony that sometimes it's my fault, but it's, well, whoever was predicting this in the long run, you know, a lot of forecasters are like, whoa, what changed in this last cycle? Really quickly, I wanted to show you the upper ocean heat content. It is mind-boggling serious out there. Loop current over here, off the charts. In fact, if we go back and click on heat content, you can see all these purple colors. Yeah, this is off the charts. This is really, really high. Thank goodness a lot of this along the Florida coast is shelf water, so it's likely to be turned up very quickly. I would not be surprised with this tropical system moving through if we lose a couple of degrees of warming with those sea surface temperatures, if it gets into that area. If it doesn't, it's only going to add more fuel for later on in the season. But really high upper ocean heat content here, here, and over here as well. So that's basically octane fuel. That's gasoline. Say it with me, folks. Hurricane jet fuel for these storm systems. If they develop, they're going to really use up a lot of this energy. And this is, again, off the charts right now. And to put it into perspective, how far above average? Yep, there's grape purple there. Look at that purple there. That's well above average for that one little area. Above average over here with the upper ocean heat content, even a little bit higher than normal over here in the northeastern Gulf. A little bit of a loop current right here, a Rossby wave current in the ocean, keeping the warm water contained there. So in other words, if you get your wave that does this, it's going to be problematic potentially. Yeah, it's rocket fuel. I do agree with you on that, Alexander. So let's go to weathernerds.org. Say it with me, weathernerds.org. Let's take a look at that right now. Let me see what I could maybe, actually, you know what? Let me just save the image. So let me actually scope out an area, zoom in, and then go over to about 7 days. Let's just do 7 days because that's the magic number. That's all we're going to go out this time. I'm not going beyond 10 days because there's so much uncertainty. If there was a lot of certainty, then I would probably go out a little further, but it's not going to happen this go around. So here's a look. Oh, I got the GEFS in already. Okay, so let's go to the Euro then. Something I messed up. Oh wait, no, I already have it. Never mind. Okay. So, this is what we're looking for right now on Weather Nerds. The European model. Look at me, folks. What are we seeing? We're seeing the chaos theory in full swing. Look at our tracks. All the way from over here to over here. Man, where did our consistency go? Where did all of our tracks go that were aiming this all the way up into, say, Cape Hatteras or even the Bahamas? They're gone. The consistency is not there anymore. The ensembles are all over the place with this. And yeah, some of them are even taking this a little further, are bending it this way. Some are even doing it like that. Some are doing it like that. That's why you clicked on this thumbnail and you saw my little lines that I drew on there. That's what this explains. The chaos theory is hard at work here. Look at one track wants to aim this over here. Some of these are going a little bit crazy, in fact. So there's a lot of uncertainty in this forecast right now on the Ensemble. Looking at the GEFS Ensemble, 7 days out. Yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I mean, wow. Are you kidding me? The GFS wants a system to quickly develop in this little area. Even over here, or what about... What? Why is the GFS, one of the members, showing a tropical depression forming over Lake Okeechobee? What are you doing, GFS? Man, those waters must be really warm enough for that to happen. Maybe a brown ocean effect? But you can see here, yep, you're looking at the northeastern Gulf of Mexico. The majority of those model runs, or those members that run the deterministic, the Ensemble, showing development potentially in the Gulf. We don't know how significant the development will be. Okay, if you all are going to come to me and say, David, could this become a hurricane? David, where is this going to impact? This is the one and only time I'm going to say, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know where it's going to impact. But we have a broad idea and understanding that it could, excuse my words here, it could impact. Let me scribble this. Let me turn off this. It could impact anywhere right in here. So this whole red area that I've highlighted illustrates that there is the potential for a close encounter with this system. Okay. Somewhere in this area. Now, the less likely scenario is over here in yellow. So if you see that clearly, I know it's hard to see. Over here, that's what we're seeing. So if you're in this red area, definitely monitor this. If you're in the yellow area, still monitor it, but there's a 1% chance, maybe a 1 to 3% chance it encounters your area in the yellow versus a 5 or 20% chance of it encountering your area in the red, if that makes sense. Okay. We just don't know. Now, some of you are probably like, David, there's a member showing it impacting Houston, Texas. If you're seeing that, ask yourself, is it really going to impact my area? We don't know. I'm not trying to smile here. We don't know. Okay. It's simple words. I know what I'm talking about. I know how to forecast this kind of stuff. But sometimes things are just too complicated. Right? Things are just too complicated for us to make a forecast with great accuracy. I could ask you this same question, folks. Let me ask you this. Where do you think it's going to impact? And you're probably going to ask me, I don't know, David. You probably know more than me because you're the weather expert here. And I'll tell you right back, I don't know either, because there's a lot of chaos with the models. However, key point here, very important. The National Hurricane Center, oops, that's not the National Hurricane Center, does show exactly what I showed you. that orange area, and this is as of 8 o'clock tonight, still a 60% chance of tropical development. So we can see the area here, not as much of a Caribbean threat, or not as much of a Bahama threat. Make sure I made that clear. Not as much of a Bahama threat as it now might be a Gulf of Mexico threat. Okay. Yeah, Florida definitely right down in the middle of that. Definitely really demarcates of where I think this could impact. The chances are much higher if you're in Florida itself than if you're in the Bahamas or even if you're in Louisiana. The reason why this is fat, the area of chances of development are because of the uncertainty. This is like your cone of uncertainty, where it might form. Does it form here? Does it form here? Does it form here? 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 We'll find out in about 4 days or 5 days. So, sorry, folks, if I did hype things up a little bit yesterday, the day before. I'm telling you, that consistency got me riled up, and now it's gone. So now I'm left with frustration. Yeah, I'm left with frustration. I'm sure you guys are looking at me like, I feel the same way too, David. Weather is very unpredictable, I know. Brother mentioned my state. I'm glad I mentioned your state. I'm glad I did. Did I miss anything that you guys want me to discuss more? We are going to be live here for another 20 or so minutes. This is a discussion, as you all know, to again replace the whole entire you-know-what video version. And boy, because of how uncertain this actually is, I might just take a day off from uploading tomorrow. We'll have to see. Because boy, I am frustrated myself at this. Why can't we get consistency and then use that to our advantage? It frustrates me. It really does. But I'll tell you what, for those that are just tuning in, if this goes with the GFS model, it's not going to end very well. And I don't want to freak you all out or, but it really rings a bell. If we look at the last 3 runs, it's been showing it. It's been showing that. It's been showing that. So, yeah. This just got a little more concerning. No. Did someone hear my watch? Did anyone hear the watch alarm go off? I heard it, but I did not know it could get picked up like that on the microphone. Wow, that's some serious sensitivity there. Someone said, "Bro, turn your watch alarm off." So someone evidently heard it. Okay, no one heard it. But yeah, just to show you all, now I wanted to kind of zoom in a little closer on exactly if this did impact Florida, what part of Florida. So let's go to here. And I want to get a little closer. Let me see if I could do Alabama. There we go. We got the little cusp of Alabama right there. So this is the GFS showing us what the winds are going to look like, and that's 81 mile an hour winds right there. Actually, I'm going to zoom out a little bit more so other people can see where they live too. You can see this onshore flow is going to be the storm surge. This is like a bowl, like a big bowl to capture all that water, and that's going to be a problem. Even some of these estuaries, you can get a lot of onshore push with that water. And the concern here is it just sits there. It doesn't go anywhere. It just sits right there. Keith Castleman, thank you so much. I'm glad you like the channel a lot. By the way, for those that are watching this, if you all are enjoying the live weather discussion on the tropics here on the YouTube channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button and please share this. Get the word out because these are going to become more of the normal as we have areas to watch. For sure, if this becomes something that we don't expect, like what we're seeing here on the GFS model, we're going to go live on this, of course. We're going to do the whole 9 yards. I've got it all set up here where we're going to have like 9 live cameras, Doppler radar, live satellite imagery, and much more. Recon data, yes, if we have to go live throughout the day on this. So if you guys are new, share, like, and subscribe, and ring that bell icon, the bell icon. Hit it, make sure it says all notifications, and you'll get notified every time this person over here uploads. Because I do upload now pretty much every day as far as the eyeball can see, right? I can see you all, and I can see the future. If I can see the future, that means we're uploading every day. Okay. Now, what does a Canadian model show? Before some of you ask. Yeah. Where did that system go on the Canadian model? It's not showing it anymore. See, there's a problem there. There's a lot of uncertainty. And it'll be interesting to see what the GFS and future model runs show. However, I can tell you right now, this does glide up the coast of Texas on the Icon model. Right over there. Rainfall totals, if this comes to fruition, quite a bit. Canadian model, let's see the rainfall totals on that, about 4 or 5 inches. So yeah, we got to watch the GFS. That is a very, 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 it could be an outlier, but it's in reasonable possibility. It really is. And there's your 7-day forecast rainfall totals. 35 inches of rainfall. But look at that. 32 inches of rainfall in 2 days. And perhaps in 24 hours, at one point here, you might get about 24 inches. 2 feet of rainfall in a day. Wow. 2 feet of rainfall in 1 day. So, in other words, you're going to worry about the wind, but you're really going to have to worry about how much rainfall comes out of this. Actually, let's look at the P-watts, because I wanted to show you all the P-watts too. And this is a measurement of how much water is in the atmosphere if you were able to condense it into a column. And you can see here over Florida, that's 3 inches of P-watts, precipitable water. And that is well above climatology. That's almost 180% of normal. And it just sits there. I mean, that's why it's going to be a very wet system. Very wet. There is a tornado warning. Can we talk about it? Sure. Let's briefly cover that, but I don't want to really focus much on the severe weather today, because people clicked onto this video to find out this tropical system. And there is a tornado warning, but it is radar indicated. So just a quick check at severe weather. It is just radar indicated right now. There is nothing much in the way of rotation. There's just a little bit of rotation. but pretty much in the middle of nowhere in Nebraska. So there's your tornado warning. Nothing significant with that. Don't be surprised if the development area shifts west even more. Someone shifts west. Actually, let me go to... Might be able to go to archives. Okay, good. Actually, I want to see this for myself. I wish I was able to... Let's see. Okay, this should help a lot. I wanted to actually see this for myself. Yeah, this actually has moved west. Yeah, look at that shift right there. Yeah, that really did shift west. If we go back just a few... from right about here, that has not gained any latitude. So if that is moving in this general direction, yeah, that could be yeah, that's right in the ballpark with the GFS model. Also, some of you, one of you, Dark Steve, is saying we have a tropical system in the East Pacific. Yes, we do. We're not going to really talk much about that, and that's just because, you know, no one lives over the ocean, but our people that do live, hold on a second, there we go. We do have this system, Tropical Storm Carlotta, something like that. I'll have to figure out on how to pronounce it, but it's Carlotta, Carlotta, something like that. We also have another system after that, and this system, briefly to discuss, this could become a major hurricane. This one up here could become a Cat 1 or a Cat 2 hurricane, and then this next one back here is the one that might become a Cat 3, maybe a Category 4 hurricane. So the East Pacific really making up for its slumber, I should say, kind of sleeping along there. This is not going to do much over here, a 20% chance, but these two systems going to be moving this way, but maybe indirect impacts to California. Oops. Where are we? Okay. To California, where we might get the monsoon here. Not just the monsoon, but probably some high-based convection, which could spark fires. Yeah, more fire danger concerns coming with hot temperatures. Just doesn't get any worse than that. What's up, Nico? How are you doing? You are not hyping anything up, David. Keep doing your thing, brother. Don't let none of the negative, delusional people get to you. Thank you so much. Also, I did want to kind of briefly talk about that. Sorry if I made that post yesterday, folks. The people that saw it. Honestly, I don't really mind the trollers. It's when they compare another channel with mine. So if someone's going to say a rude thing about, oh, this so-and-so person is better than David Schlotthauer, that really disturbs me. That really makes me upset. But otherwise, if it's like, David, stop hyping stuff up. You could keep telling me that, and I'm going to be like, not the time to say that. So when is the next hurricane update? If necessary, probably tomorrow. Probably going to do a video version tomorrow. We'll have to see. If it's needed, we may have to do another discussion, but tomorrow I think we're just going to do a video discussion, video version of it, probably about 20 or 25 minute long video on this disturbance. But the live streams here, a lot of you guys like it. I know. Give me a big hug. Hug me, folks. Hug me right now because I love you guys. The live stream partition versions of this are only if, one, I don't have enough time out of my day to make a video. Two, if it's a very significant escalating situation where I need to be more thorough, more clear about my discussion. And three, if it's going to impact someone or somewhere within about 3 or so days. So there's criteria that I follow to initialize these live streams. And today was because I was busy. I just did not have the time, enough time to do this, to make a video. So, yeah. So if anyone's wondering about this system, GFS, still in the realm of fantasy land. We'll see about that. But it is very interesting that if we go back and look at the Caribbean, it's really interesting that our disturbance is down here. This is where they have it right now. On their, wait, maybe it's up here a little bit. Whereas the European model, let's take a look at the Euro, has the system a little further to the northeast. Thank you, Amanda. I love you guys. I really do. Yeah, so I wanted it to be clear because Nico kind of alluded to this. Some people are still confused about, that this could definitely, that I said this will go into the Gulf. I never said it will go into the Gulf. I say it might go into the Gulf because there is still that uncertainty. Again, I wanted to show you all that this is where our wave is. It is not closed. It could be down here for all we know, or it could be way up here for all we know, and maybe over here or over here. You know, models are having a hard time on this. It's like seeing things, like forensic science. You're trying to see things with that wave, and you can't see things, you can't make out details very well until the thing actually does this. Put your hands out and make a circle. When it consolidates, this is where we're at right now. Looking around, using our eyes. What is that over there? I don't know what to do. Versus, oh, I see it. I know where it's going to go because we actually see it. But I'll tell you, looking a bit healthy in tonight's satellite imagery with that presentation. And you can see the wave. Let me forward it right here for those that are wondering. You can see the deep convection right in here. So we're going to have to see on how this all progresses over the next 2 or 3 days. Maybe there's more deep convection what models are showing, and that could make a huge difference. Maybe the wave gets a little sharper. It's going to really be important now how this wave does each time you see these deep areas of convection. You know, it's preconditioning the atmosphere. I like the way you explain things. That's why I become a member. Oh, thank you, Dawson. I do appreciate that. I try my best at explaining things as good as I can, but sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard. JSA, you do a great job, brother. We appreciate everything you do here in Tampa Bay. Thank you so much. Let me ask you a question. I do appreciate you dipping your feet in the ocean waters. Have you yet? Tell me how warm those waters are. Maybe get a thermometer and dip it in the water and let me know how warm it is. And maybe leave a comment on some of my future videos and like, hey David, it's 92.5 degree water temperature here. Thank you, Heidi. So yeah, also, I wanted to show you something too. I know we're going on and on about this. Let's go to global and let's go over here. And let's kind of analyze this wave a little bit more. I want you all to, actually let me do long wave IR. Actually, you know what? Let's do low level water vapor imagery. Actually, no, that's being goofy on me. All right, so I wanted to show you this too. Does anyone notice the pattern of deep convection? Oops. Why did you freeze up like that? So have you noticed that the deep convection is actually getting deeper as the wave moves further to the west? See that? Take note of that. You can see that. And that's important. That preconditioning evidently is helping. Okay, so let me go. Watching from NOLA. Nice. Love this. Thank you, Brandon. Last time I went, it was some of the hottest beach water I've ever felt of Sarasota County. Yeah, well, actually, you know what? I can give you the water temperature based on my estimates here really quickly. If anybody is wondering about how warm those waters are, let's go down to this. And how about 89 degrees? 89 degrees Fahrenheit. I wonder if that's even accurate though. Let me convert that to... Let me actually convert that. Find the stupid settings button. Oh yeah, here it is. Settings up here. Let's go down and look at Celsius. It's actually not working. Why isn't it working? That is actually a little crazy. Celsius doesn't work in this. But I can tell you right now, it is warm. Waters are 89, close to 90 degrees Fahrenheit in this area. So definitely warm enough to support tropical systems. There is a way you can convert this, but I'll tell you right now, 89, let's actually go to Celsius. I know it's like 32 Celsius something, right? 32? Yep, 32 Celsius. So we're actually 32 Celsius in that one area. If we get to 33 Celsius, it's 91 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's really, really warm. Really over this area. No 90s yet. I don't see one 90 degree. Oh yeah, right there. 90 degrees. We got it on stream. 90 degrees Fahrenheit. That's warm. That's really, really warm. Compare that to the Eastern Pacific, only 85, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. So the Gulf is actually warmer It's even warmer than the West Pacific, folks. If you guys are wondering about that, the West Pacific only 85 to 86 degree Fahrenheit waters. It's not any warmer than the Red Sea, though, the Red Sea, Dead Sea, actually that would be the Red Sea, 93 Fahrenheit. So yeah, the Gulf is actually very warm. One of the warmest, the top 2 warmest basins in the world. And boy, oh boy, it's octane fuel. If things come together, actually, probably asking me that question, when are we going to get a favorable environment, David? Well, let's take a look at that. Really quickly, we're going a little over an hour with this live stream. But see, questions lead to other questions, and so let's go to that. I'm not really going to go into a whole lot of detail with this, because I just want to browse through this very quickly. Man, that is that is trouble. Holy moly, I'm seeing this for the first time. I'm not trying to hype up stuff. You guys are probably like, what do you mean you're hyping up stuff, David? Stop it. Because you don't know what this is until I tell ya. It's the velocity potential map. So we can see here on the European EPS Ensemble prediction system. By the way, this is the 15th of August. The 15th of August, folks. I did want to briefly mention this. You're going to probably see this a lot on my videos and on these discussions. This is the velocity potential anomaly. Is there upward motion? Let's do this. Let me back away. Is there this or is there this? Sinking motion. So the red colors are sinking. Can I draw better than that? Okay, where's my arrow? Sinking motion, sinking motion, sinking motion, sinking motion, all right here. Rising motion here, 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 and here. Okay. So you get the idea. Really quickly, this is where we're looking at. This is the Atlantic Basin on the Mercator projection map. Now, I'm not really interested in the red colors that develop over the Caribbean or over the Gulf of Mexico or even over the Western Main Development Region. But what I'm really interested in is this over here. This over here, blue colors, not green, blue. It's actually, let me see how many petasteps that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 petasteps. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's almost off the charts. That's very, very significant. It's a lot of upward motion. A lot of upward motion. Over the Sahel region of Africa. Okay, over this area, there's a lot of upward motion. Okay, and why is that a problem? What do you get when there's upward motion, folks? You get more than just a tropical, you get more than just a little thing. You get a lot of thunderstorm activity. And that's what we're witnessing here. So this is where we're at right now in the next 5 days. Hence, why is the East Pacific very active? Why is it active? There's your answer. There's your answer. This is concrete evidence of what we're seeing right now. All this upward motion over the Eastern Pacific is leading to our possibly 2 or 3 named storms. Again, the Atlantic quiet right now, but don't get comfortable with that. Don't get comfortable. Let's go to the next frame. Let's go to here. This is over the next 360 hours. Oh, yeah. That's different. All that upward motion. And if we go to this, go right to this link, does pretty good. So big shout out does go to Eric Webb for this. So to briefly explain, and this is why people probably call me crazy, because they're like, dude, stop hyping stuff up. There's a reason why I do it, okay? Because I see the environment. In other words, folks, you have to look outside of the global models sometimes. You have to look at the ensembles. You have to look at the background state of the atmosphere. Okay? Tools are, this is not free, of course, and I would never go crazy with stuff, unless it needs to be. And this is a symptom. Right here is a symptom. Doesn't mean we will, but it might give us a very busy period coming. Especially, I think, by the middle of August. The 15th, the 16th of August, I think it's going to be go time. Might even be a little sooner than that, perhaps. By the 11th or the 12th of August, we're really going to have to start looking out here in the main development region. All right? We're really going to have to start looking at that. Because what you see here, watch this. Let's just play this through. This is where we're headed. All right? So, and there was another conversion chart. Hold on. I think there was another conversion chart with that. Maybe it's this one. There we go. This is what we needed. Concrete evidence. So, yeah. I think this says it all. So notice when we go into phase 2, again, shout out goes to Eric Webb on Twitter for this. This still is important. So this is where we're headed. Take note, the velocity potential. That's that green area that we have. Starting to understand with what we're talking about here. All this green area leads to busy periods, especially in the Caribbean, in the Gulf of Mexico, and even in the main development region. That's phase 2, phase 3, and this is phase 4. Oh, phase 4. Look where our velocity potential is. Over India, over Eastern Africa, and over the West Pacific. And look at this. Look at this. Higher than normal tropical activity. See? So even so you get brown colors, doesn't mean that, that's unfavorable, David. That's straight up unfavorable. But look at this gradient. Look at that gradient. That's a really tight gradient. And I'm very, very sure we're going to have a lot of activity developing by the middle of August. I see it happening. I can sniff it and I can smell it happening. Probably the 16th or the 15th of August. Okay? That's what we're seeing. And you can look, and this is not free. You have to pay for this. This is the Weather Models Lab off of weathermodels.com. All you need to do, again, get a subscription, go down here, Model Lab, and you get all of the information to your discretion. And if you want to look at the V-plot, even the V-plot is showing something really, really similar. Really similar. With, again, a favorable period. While this is not entirely accurate, it bounces all over the place, as you can see here. But look at all that upward motion through most of August over Africa. And that is why I strongly believe it's going to get crazy once we go in the second half of August. Climatology, and it could end up more than climatology. All right, man, I probably twisted your guys' brains. Did you guys understand that? If you didn't, I am sorry. Now you guys know that. Oh, David does know a lot about weather. Holy cow. Because I've been doing this for over 15 years. 15 years. Actually, almost 20 years. Almost 20 years. Well, Cassie D, there is a delay. There is a delay. Okay, because this is the velocity potential, but you got to think your tropical waves are coming off of Africa. So actually, as long as we get tropical waves that successfully develop and they move under this orange area, it's not going to prevent additional strengthening, right? It's hard to explain. All you need to know is once the MJO is over here of what we're seeing on the Mercator projection Hofmolar diagram, it's green light. Green means go, and it's going to get busy. It's going to get busy. And again, that's what we look for. That's basically this right here, all that green. I'm 28, Cassie D. Anyone have questions? Anybody have any questions about this disturbance or about what may be coming later in August? Or about the rest of the hurricane season? Boy, this is going to be a little bit of a discussion. We're going almost an hour and a half with this. I was hoping to make this only an hour long today. Will there be any impacts for the Northeast for hurricanes this year? That is certainly a possibility. It depends on our ridge of high pressure in general. Let's see here. Okay, this did all load in. So in general, I don't see a whole lot of activity for the Northeast, but it is not out of the question. You're probably more than likely going to get at least one or two named storms making a close call for the Northeast. But it's really going to be for this area. This is the area that really needs to watch. Even areas up here to the north, south of, say, Virginia. Basically, this whole area needs to be on guard for the season. This is going to be the active hotspot. How's NOLA looking? Let's go to NOLA. I've never heard of that name, so let's go to NOLA. So you're probably referring to Nolanville, because if it's a country, then that's NOLA. Let's see. Yeah, you're probably New Orleans. That's probably what you mean by New Orleans. I got that correct. I know I got that correct. So New Orleans for this storm, again, going to be to your east. Right now, I do see potential over Panama City Beach and to the east. I think this whole area over here, I'm going to circle that in red. This whole area needs to be on guard. Needs to definitely be watching this. Definitely needs to be monitoring. Don't get prepared yet. We don't know exactly where. If it's going to hit here, 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 or here. We don't know. Or even if it's going to make a smart turn and go back over here. Monitor it, and then I'll let you know when it's time. Yep, I got that. Yep, Mary. When will the next model runs come out? Not until about 9 o'clock tonight. Yeah, so every 6 hours. So we just got the 18Z model run in of the GFS. We're not going to get the next runs out until about 9 or 10 o'clock tonight. Well, the GFS comes out first, then the Euro comes out next. So what about Okeechobee, Florida? So Okeechobee, Florida is near Lake Okeechobee, I am guessing, because that's probably where it's named from Lake, or Okeechobee, Florida. Yeah. So Okeechobee, Florida is certainly not out of the clear yet. You do have Lake Okeechobee that can do some weird stuff with systems, so definitely monitor this. Go over the new models. I already did, Jay. Easy. I already did. All I will say is the 18Z GFS, crazy with the rainfall, couple of feet of rainfall versus a European model, not showing a whole lot in that area. Actually, not at all. To be specific, probably only an inch or so. Yeah, an inch of rain versus a GFS model. 100% difference with that. What about Ocala, Florida? So Ocala, Florida, gonna get a lot of rainfall potentially out of this. It again depends on how this develops. There's still a lot of information we don't know about this yet. We know that somewhere in the Gulf it could move into. And does it rapidly intensify? Does it take full advantage of light shear, lots of moisture in the atmosphere, very warm sea surface temperatures, all that shenanigans? It is going to be announced. It's to be announced, TBD, in other words. It's probably going to be kind of like a Katrina, where it's a tropical depression, then 2 days later it's a Category 4. Who knows? The GFS only gives us a basic rundown that, okay, based on these conditions, this is how strong it might get. It's really going to depend on how quick this is able to wrap up. If it wraps up quickly, then it could be a different story than if it takes its own sweet time. Cape Coral, Florida could get quite a bit of rainfall with winds of about 15 to 25 miles an hour based on the GFS. If we look at different model runs, it's going to show us a little bit different. Both of the runs do have winds of at least 15 to 20. Lake Worth, Florida. So Lake Worth, Florida is certainly, don't let your guard down yet. Don't let your guard down yet. There is still an area, you're still in that orange polygon, which means there is still that 60% chance. There's still that chance this could make, could make the turn north sooner rather than later. What was your question, Traffer Prosper? I don't want you all to be, I don't want to freak you all out. I'm not trying to cause that at all, but we do have to watch the models. There's two different scenarios here, and if the GFS continues to be consistent here, and the Euro continues to be consistent with nothing, then that's as hard of a tricky forecast as you can get. I mean, what scenario do we believe? That's the question. Do we believe the Euro? Do we believe the GFS? Do we believe... The majority don't show anything, but there's that one model we cannot ignore. Are you monitoring the giant system in mid-Africa? What? There's a giant system in mid-Africa? Probably a tropical wave that's not going to develop just yet. There's a lot of deep convection on that. But yeah, there is a tropical wave there, but most of the models are not going crazy with that one yet. That is this one, I believe. Let's go to, where's Africa? There we go. That's this system right here. With the vorticity, yeah, that's that right there. That is actually a nice energetic wave. That is over Central Africa. Then it moves off. Actually, that might have some development potential. That might. But it fades away. It just kind of gets absorbed. Now, after that, it's a different story. Then we get more energetic waves coming off of Africa. Yeah, look at this wave right here. Man, that is very energetic. All right. Your birthday's coming up in 7 days? Nice, nice. Again, Alexander, based on one model run, where I'm not making any predictions yet. Okay, we're not going to make any predictions yet. Wait, what is that, the latest model run? I want to make sure. Okay, that is. So, yeah, but we really got to watch the Atlantic beyond the 15th of August. Now, again, that might get pushed back. So I don't want anyone to say, oh, David, I thought you predicted something on the 15th or the 16th of August. That's based on now. That's based on our MJO forecast. That could change from day to day. It could be delayed by a little bit. So don't expect any development in mid-August. It might be a few days later. It might be a few days earlier. It could be a week later or a week earlier. Okay. I think I am going to wrap up this conversation. David, will you set up cameras or travel to the site of where a hurricane hits? Cassie, unfortunately, I am not. I am in California. Boy, if I won $1 billion, if I win $1 billion at the lottery, I would probably quit my job and start doing that. But unfortunately, I don't have $1 billion. I'm not like Mr. Beast or some of the celebrities out there that have a lot of money. I wish I could, I really do, but I'm not traveling 3,000 miles. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. It was over $1,000 just to go to Texas to see the eclipse back in early April. Can you please answer my question? Sure, sorry. How many Africa waves will MJO bring to Gulf states? That's a very, very, very tough question, Dane. There's tropical waves that move across the Atlantic all the time. They're just weak and not able to produce much. But when the MJO comes through, it should give the Atlantic a hyper boost with activity. How many tropical waves will produce a tropical storm or hurricane? We don't know the answer. That's a very tough one. Definitely more than one or two. I will give you that answer. More than at least one or two. Alex E10 explores America. I'll be going to wherever it makes landfall as long as it's close enough for me. I am Florida's toughest swimmer. Oh my gosh. You're crazy. Please be careful though. Please be careful. If it comes by Tampa, I'll do a live stream. Oh, nice. Jay, easy. I will be definitely live streaming when there's a landfall. You could bet me on that. We're actually going to have a conference meeting. Our Discord is going to have a conference meeting with the staff team to put something together. So if we do have to stream overnight, I will make sure there is coverage. I will make sure there is coverage. All right. Will we go to the Greek alphabet? It is possible. It is possible. Not out of the question. I seen a video of a friend's neighbor who went kayaking in Ian. Oh, that's crazy. Thank you for tuning in, Zachary. By the way, before you all go, please subscribe to the channel because I will be doing these discussions, including video updates on the tropics, because we're not only looking at this system, but we're going to probably have to start looking further down the road too for additional systems. And also ring that bell icon, smash the bell icon if you do subscribe. For reference, where is that at, you might be asking? Well, if you go to my channel, which is not hard, you go to, okay, actually I'm going to go over to Hurricane Track's YouTube channel. So if you go over to videos, where is it? Gosh darn it, oh yeah, right here. Make sure you go to where it says all. Don't say personalized, go to where it says all and press it if you do subscribe to my channel. And then you get all notifications, okay? So that's a little confusing, but I had to show you all that so you all get the drill. You're very welcome, Fong Wei. I do appreciate that. Yep. Congratulations, you have now a new follower. That's awesome. I'm actually really close to 24,000 subscribers. Last I checked, we were 50 subscribers away from 24,000, and we are 10 away from 24,000. You know what? We're going to go live a little longer. How about that? We're going to do a 24K stream special here. Well, not really a special. We're going to talk about the tropics, and then once we hit 24K, I will actually have to go because I have family that I need to help with. Yep. We have a big thing coming up in early August that I need to take care of. So, yeah, we'll be talking about the tropics, getting to questions until we hit that milestone. It's just a milestone. It's not a goal. It's just a little stone that's a mile. Heck yeah, I'm pumped. Oh my gosh, you're hilarious. You're hilarious. But yeah, we're going to watch this area right here. 24K, so good. It's 24K because there's 24 of those letters. You want me to type up 24Ks? I could probably do it right now. You guys will probably laugh at me. You guys will probably laugh at me. Let's do it. Let's type up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Oh, wait, hold on. I need to make them shorter. Let's type up those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. There's the number of Ks. Actually, you know what? This pretty much fits the entire Atlantic basin from one end to the other. What a ruler I can get. And you know what? 24 is a special number this year because, well, we could have 24 named storms at the end of all of this, and it expands across the entire Atlantic. So, yeah. And eventually we'll be at 50 of these letters. All right, let me take those K's off. Can I take them off? Why can I take them off? There we go. Finally it did. You guys are funny. Daytona Beach better not get hit. Hopefully no one gets hit. How about that? Hopefully no one gets hit. But unfortunately, this wave is going towards populated areas, and someone's going to get hit. It's just a matter of how big will that hit be? Will it be a big old baseball bat hitting someone's house? Or will it be just a little ping pong ball hitting someone's skin at 5 miles an hour? Or bouncing off the sidewalk or something, right? A bat versus a ping pong ball. I need 7 more. 7 more. Actually, we'll do this. Only for this live stream. Only for this live stream. Oh, what just happened? What just happened? Let's do this. That's what we need. Oh, and you can't see it because I don't have full screen. That's a little bit better. And I lost my chat box. There we go. We need 6 more now. Then I will call it a day, and I won't bother you guys again until tomorrow when I make another video. Well, not really bothering. IR satellite loop. Okay, let's go to the IR satellite loop. Every time I click on a new window, that's what's going to happen. What's on Meyer Weather? David, can we send you hurricane videos? Yes, Discord. You could find me on Discord. Discord server, Weather Force. I do need to really start promoting that because people on my Discord said, you need to promote your Discord a lot more. I'm like, yeah, I will try to be better at that. So if you guys want to join the Discord server, you get awesome different things. Some of these chats, oops, and I just entered that. You get updates from different members. DJ The Broke, which is a YouTube subscriber of mine, he's in there. Weather Republic. Yeah, we got a good crew in there. Great. And this is actually that system. So Tropical Depression 3 was a tropical depression. Now it's, of course, a tropical storm, Coletta. And so, yeah, interact. You could interact. Meyer. Okay, thought it was Meyer. What's up, Adam? How are you doing? 3 more. So any questions you guys have? We're looking at satellite imagery. Let's look at the GFS. And there we go. There's our system. Possibly going to be something big. We'll see about that. What's up, Greg D? I could call you kind of a super hurricane expert because, you know, your family, some of your family used to be in the National Hurricane Center. What are your thoughts about this system, Greg D54? maybe ask your, I think it's your daughter or your somewhat, maybe your niece, ask them about what they think about this. What are their thoughts? I'm just watching the numbers go up. Well, give me a while. Greg gives us the info. Yeah, Greg is really, really good at conveying honest information. Okay, it is your daughter, so I got that right. Mayor. Oh, it's Mayor. Oh, it's Mayor weather. Okay, sorry about that. Mayor Mar sound, yeah, the wording is similar. Mayor Weather, I love that name. You're the mayor of the weather. What's up, DJ Tech and Gaming? Oh, I also forgot. I'm going to drop a bombshell here in the live stream. Can anyone guess what I'm going to be uploading this weekend? Probably this weekend. Can anybody take a guess what I'm going to be uploading this weekend? Whoever gets it right, actually, I will be honest, hit me up on PayPal and I will give you $25 if anyone could get it right. But you're going to have to Discord me. You're going to have to contact me on Discord. You're going to have to contact me on Discord. If not, sorry, won't work out that way. Mayor Weather takes the $25. Actually, you know what? I'll lower the price. I'll actually make it 10 special dollars because I do have to, you know, I'll give you $10. $10 bonus. 24,001. Actually, you know what? I want to make sure that number is actually, because that could be outdated. I want to make sure it's actually, because you know how YouTube does their crazy numbers and stuff. It's official. It's up here. It is official. 24,000. It actually is correct for once. Okay. I think that is going to do it. And that's a boom. 24, a quarter way to 25 to 50K. All right. So, Mayor Weather, contact me on Discord. Okay, join the Discord server and then say hello in there, and then we can talk. And then what I can do is then contact you, and then if you have a PayPal, I can send you the money like that. $10 because you got your first answer. That got the answer correct. Yes, folks, I am going to be making or releasing my winter forecast for the 2024-25 winter season, and I'm sure a lot of you are excited for that. I still have more work to do on that behalf in the midst of tracking the tropics. Yes, I care about winter just like I do with hurricane season, so I'm excited to release that this weekend sometime, either Saturday or Sunday, probably a little sooner. I'm not sure yet because I have to do a lot more work to the maps and everything. I've got some of it done, but not all of it. All right, questions done, and I am out of here. Thank you all for tuning in to today's detailed tropical weather outlook and discussion for Wednesday, July the 31st. As always, make today a great day. I will talk to you more tomorrow on the tropics. Thanks for getting me to 24,000. Share, like, and subscribe, folks.